That's the only way to get better.
There we go. Hello everybody, we are back. Game number 2 between TSM and Curse. My name is Silver Dirge. With me is Forecourt Jester.
Oh, that's me? Yep, that's me. Yeah, Forecourt Jester with the Dirge now. I think we've been trying to set up a cast between us since, like, what, November?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Now dreams come true. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, TSM Curse up 1-0 for Team Solo Mid. Hi, boss. Yeah. I'm not biased at all, yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But last game, I mean, we saw that Ash ban coming out from TSM, and now you see the same ban. Or no, it was the same Ash ban from Curse. It's the same ban again for Curse. Same Udyr ban as well. Alistar Morgana, very similar to game number 1. If we have a Cassiopeia, then it's pretty much verbatim.
Yeah, I think that we're only missing a Cassiopeia and Cassidon. Yeah. Otherwise, that's just, pretty much the same bans from game number 1 and... Oh, Rise. I forgot. Rise, and last one could expect Cassiopeia ban. They're banning the exact same champions pretty much from last game. Ooh, Kog'Maw. They are banning out their own Kog'Maw.
They're saying, well, if Elements wants to run Nunu, no Kog'Maw for you.
Very well done, especially since I guess since Elements did run Nunu earlier, they don't want that devastating Nunu Kog'Maw combination. Cop has picked up Lee Sin for Curse as first pick. We'll see whether or not that works out quite as well, either in the jungle or top lane. Could expect a top lane Belter on Lee Sin. Chaos picking up Urgot.
Bam, Urgot. It's all about that Urgot, man. Urgot has really come back into the scene. I'm very impressed with him. Like, he's an ugly thing, but other than that, like, I'm just really surprised that they made an ugly champion in this game where everyone is like picture perfect and ideal. But Urgot himself, like, going for a more of a tanky AD, especially with the flash ultimates, like, you can easily turn a team fight into a 5 versus 4 just by a flash ultimate from Chaos, and he has done these things really well up against just your average Joes and Fatality. Like, every time spells, he just showed his head, bam, done, 5v4, and your support's out of the picture, and they couldn't do anything about it whatsoever. So yeah, Urgot, be amazed, especially with a Janna. Oh my goodness, I like these picks already.
Yeah, Janna, Urgot, very disruptive lane. You got the focusing single target fire, the whittling down and tankiness of Urgot combined with the utility and, I guess, entire kit that Janna brings to her entire team. The movement speed, passive, tornadoes, that Howling Gale, the shield, slowing down opponents, and of course Monsoon, the all-important ultimate that can be used devastatingly with a flash ult, otherwise can reset bad team fights or turn team fights around to vastly in your favor if you split up the enemy team, especially since there's a Galio being picked. That will throw Galio away, assuming that she doesn't get caught in the ult. That'll definitely shove Galio out of the way.
I like how now Curse is running Galio. I'm like, well, that worked out really well. Let's go with that. In fact, they have the entire TSM team from last round right now.
Yeah,
they have Lee Sin up top. They have Amundo in the jungle, and they have Galio in the mid. That's amazing.
Don't know whether to say they're being serious or this is just kind of, hey, we'll just see how badly we can disrupt them by taking their entire team comp.
Well, I mean, if it works and you got steamrolled, might as well use it. That's exactly how you learn. Now, Dyrus, however, he's looks like he's going to pick up Kennen. I have to wonder if that's going to be a top or a mid Kennen.
Yeah, against Galio, I would say Kennen has a little bit better chances than Karthus does, since Karthus is kind of slow, does need to sit there and just poke people down with glittery red rocks. Kennen a little bit more mobile, energy-based, not going to have the mana problems that Karthus had that last game, not able to exchange at all with Galio. But I think top lane against Lee Sin, I think, is a fairly even matchup as well. Both of them are energy-based champions, and I think the only thing that Dyrus would have to watch out if he runs top lane Kennen will be the Hex Streaker that Pobelter could end up building.
Unless it's an AD cannon.
Unless if it's an AD Kennen, that is true. Very, very true.
I used to laugh at AD cannon, but then the tournaments showed me otherwise, and now you praise it. You praise it hard. But yeah, a Hex Drink in that case wouldn't matter whatsoever. Now, Curse, with that Lee Sin, I mean, he has the shield, and he has the ping pong, and Dyrus, however, like with the cannon, if it is going to be the top, I mean, it's all skill shot, so it's very easy to defeat a lot of the harass that can bring to that table. I mean, he'd have to resort to the lightning rushes, which has to get you into melee range, which means you're going to get kicked in the face if you kick lightning in the face. And you can, I've done it. But okay, so no. If that's definitely going to be an Olaf, I'm just waiting for him to lock in, then it'll be an Olaf top with Dyrus, which is another one of his really strong heroes. And that'll be Reginald on the Kennen mid, which means it will be an AP.
Exactly. Yep,
yeah,
they are locking that in. And Reginald...
Oops.
What
a jerk.
We were waiting on him earlier, and why is my name still pending? That's,
Because you're unique.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Alright, they're going to remake the blind pick. Yeah, once somebody quits, it's really hard to get them back in, so say la vie. But other than that, Olaf top, Dyrus, great solo top champion. Up against Elite Sin, I mean, the true damage will be very useful because it will just penetrate through any kind of armor, no problem. And the axes, with the ability to not get CC'd for those ganks, I mean, it will probably prove out to be really good for Olaf. And the lower he gets, I mean, he loves Malmortius as an Olaf, because the lower you get, the faster you hit, and now more attack damage that you hit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to look really quickly, getting a couple...
Have you left the game?
Messages. Yeah, I don't know. I think my client's bugging out a little bit. As soon as I exited the game, it put me back in the lobby.
It's a spectator bug.
That's true. Broken spectator mode.
I got my invite. I'm in.
Yep.
So they're going to do the same picks, and that's going to be cool. Now, in the mid, Galio versus Kennen. Now, with the Lightning Rush again, Kennen can actually sustain himself pretty decent, because if he ever does get any of those stray hits, he can just increase his resistances by throwing out... Did I get kicked?
I did too.
These jerks. Playing with my minds. In the mid, though, I do suspect Galio. I totally didn't leave.
I did not either. I think it just dropped us. Are they in?
They're still there.
Oh. Are they in champion select?
Nope.
Oh, we just got dropped. Guess we'll wait to find our way back in there.
Oh. Just look for owner. It's going to be easier than finding it. It's the same password.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop analyzing anything until we get this game rolling. There's too many interruptions. But guys, you are watching the ggC, the Good Game Classic, the Good Game Chronicle, here with Leaguecraft Gaming Exchange. You are on the stream with Silver Dirge and Four Core Jester. And big thanks to the ggClassic guys for having us on here on their main stage, so to speak. We got a whole bunch of people waiting for the conclusion of game number 2. We might have a game number 3. Can Curse bring it back? Personally, I'm leaning more towards TSM now that I know their picks.
Yeah, the picks on TSM, if I can remember them all correctly, it's 10 different champions to pick out. Forecourt, I cannot find the game.
Okay, click on creator or owner so that it filters.
Yeah, Curse Cop is not showing up for me. May have to restart my client or just spam refresh. Oh, there we go. What?
You found it.
I found it.
Now never leave.
Now never leaving again.
And to be honest, I think I just like the gameplay that I was able to witness right there from TSM a bit more. Like last round we had the Karthus pick after a Soraka and after a Galio. So NY Jackie kind of destroyed. He shot himself in the foot, so to speak, when opening up the game. And then we had like what, 2 Nocturne ganks with his ult, and
Yep.
they resulted. One of them resulted in the kill. The other, he just died. I
Yeah.
don't know. If you're gonna
And
go for someone very ganky like that, you kind of need to, employ it a bit more.
and a couple comments from viewers messaged to me. One person in particular believes the Karthus against Galio was a fine selection because Galio has high magic resist building that prevents any counterpicking. So if you choose a champion that can outscale him in the late game, Karthus or Cassiopeia that can farm at the turret, it's fine. Soraka doesn't really mitigate Karthus' damage outside of the lane phase, but unfortunately, Nijaki was not able to play Karthus very well in that matchup. The matchup should be fine, but unfortunately could not execute it the way that he wanted to.
And I think that, having that perma blue buff on Reginald really helped that fact because we zoned, we out CS, we went wandering. They stole so many buffs, and Reginald was there for most of that buff stealing. So it gave him a lot of mobility and a lot of pushing power. Karthus really couldn't even leave the lane, otherwise he was going to risk getting just too low. So I think that guy was agreeing with me, but I don't know. I thought you were going to argue with me. It's like, but you just said Galio was good. I don't know if he's agreeing with me, but I'll agree with him. How's that? Nobody should ever agree to me.
I just like reiterating things people say because, they took the time to type it out to me. I feel like I should just recognize the good stuff.
Anything else?
Nope, that is it for now.
I'm used to a lot of hate, so.
Used to a lot of hate. What hate? Haters gonna hate.
Mostly about the hat. I don't know why. The hat really just pisses people off.
The hat? Oh, you're a jester hat?
Yeah.
But you're not a forecourt jester if you don't have forecourts or a jester hat.
Not you, too. Not you, too. Oh, I thought you were going to say something about the amount of prongs on the hat.
Oh.
Because that's some people take offense to that. Like, you don't have 4 prongs in your hat, therefore you're not a forecourt jester. Like, what?
No, you just have to be a jester of 4 courts. Your hat has nothing to do with it. Or at least that's my theory.
Okay. C'est la vie. But, yeah, Dirge, you've been around. You're the 4-Knot caster, right?
Yeah, 4-Knot did pick me up, as well as Rapid. You can find him on Twitter, Rapid Transit 24/7. And yeah, so the two of us are the casters for 4-Knot. Unfortunately, I have not been able to keep up with a lot of their scrims over the past couple weeks now that they've picked up Dan Din because classes have started for this quarter for me, so I'm a little busy. But yeah, forecourt, I am the caster for 4-Knot, and it's been fun. They're amazing, and I really hope that people lend them their support because they work so hard for what they do, just as much as any other team. But I think 4-Knot really does have a chance in the big leagues. So I like what they're doing, and I think they've got a huge chance to get wherever they want to go.
Well, all the best to them and you.
Thank you.
The 4-Knot forecourt jester, yeah, it doesn't quite work. The 4-Knot silver dirge, yeah, I think that sounds a little bit better.
4-Knot silver dirge. Yeah, for now I'm just silver dirge, not quite part of the family yet, just silver dirge.
So guys, we got a minute to go. The GGC, we're in Curse versus TSM. You guys are watching this on Owned, and we are being sponsored by the Gaming Stack Exchange. There's a lot of big information over there. In fact, there's a lot of contests going on as well. They're giving away like $1 bazillion worth of stuff. So head over there, guys. You see the little heart flashing up on the screen. You have it there on the UI. Go over to them, learn a little bit about this game, because Lord knows I need to, and you can win yourself a little bit of swag. That's pretty awesome of them.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I think they were giving away a brand new game console up to $250 worth of whatever you would like, but now they're just, I think, giving out weekly prizes. Go ahead and find that, and I think they will automatically put you into a drawing for weekly prizes if you put ggClassic somewhere in your profile information, if I can remember that correctly. Maybe wrong, but yeah, I guess that's that.
Pretty awesome. Game's gonna go up. Forecourt Jester here with Silver Dirge. Silver Dirge is on your camera. Her upload is definitely a lot better than mine, so always give accolades to her, guys, because without her, we wouldn't have this stream. And if you came over here from Dyrus' stream, awesome, great, lovely to have you here. Otherwise, tell Dyrus that he just needs to play better for us. Great, thanks.
Oh. Yeah, game number 2, skins going out, Broloff. Don't see a whole lot of Broloff, honestly, and I always, that skin always fascinates me.
It's all about that Battlecaster Urgot. He is so awesome looking.
Battlecaster Urgot. Yeah, just kind of waddling along down the lane there. But we are in game. Teams have switched sides, so we have Curse in the bottom right on blue team. And since I am running colorblind mode, TSM, Team Solo Mid, will be in the top right in the red.
Yay. Now, Graves, Soraka on the bottom lane, they should never really be forced back to their tower. Graves has great pushing support. He can clear those waves, no problem. Infinite mana, and he can always do a little bit of a dash poke onto the Urgot. But this is where Urgot might be able to, shut down that lane a little bit after he tanks up. So typically what you'll see is like a Brutalizer and then into a Frozen Heart. And that will really do a good number on the AD lane. And you kind of really do need to build that tanky AD aspect, as Dyrus is going to actually get hit by Pobelter down to half after that Hadoken, and NY Jack is throwing down the bomb. But yeah, they're not going to tower dive at a level 1. What? Get out, man. Get out.
Not happy about that.
But we know where Curse is now. It's in this top, and you can see TSM responding very, well, as you would expect, they're going into the bottom. Yep. And it looks like they might take the raid, or they're just gonna hang out, have some Kool-Aid, and go on back.
Reginald kind of dancing about right now. They tried to sit around and wait for the raids, but will have to back up from that. Odd one going to start on Wolves, and pings going down. Reginald trying to disturb Crumbs as he begins. Unfortunately, it's just going to aid a little bit better with that leash. Guess we're back to a normal laning phase. We got Reginald and Nijaki here in mid as Kennen and Galio top lane. Olaf, Lee Sin, bottom lane, Graves, Soraka, and Janna, Urgot, both very, very strong lanes. And of course in mid, odd one on Jarvan, which you don't see all too often anymore, and Cursed Crumbs on Mundo. Actually, I take that back. Jarvan's kind of had a resurgence in the past few weeks. I'm not quite sure what that is, why that is, excuse me.
Well, you jump, you got the flag, like right there, he flags in, so you can get over these walls and do a pretty decent jungle clear time because he doesn't have to walk around them. And then at level 6, he does have that ultimate, great for team fights, especially if you can put some kind of big AoE in there as well. I mean, X-Special can actually push people out of the Jarvan ults, so that might be a little bit, they gotta really time that well, but if Jarvan can get an ult in and then Reginald can just flash into it, put up Azonias and throw down his jam, then it could hurt.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, Cop and Elements doing something similar we saw in the first game. They are pushing into the tower here, providing Chaos and Special, I guess, a reason to hug their tower a little bit more closely. And Graves a little bit more bursty, I think, than Urgot is, especially early on in the game. Looking very strong right now.
Oh yeah, early on, Urgot just has to farm. I mean, there's going to be pushed, Elements and Curse, like we don't have a Nunu on the scene, and Janna is... Well, she'll throw up the shields, but, I mean, there's nothing here to really accelerate the pushing except Graves. And every time Graves does a Q, his buckshot, then it's just going to start pushing that lane even more and more as we're about to see the first kill. NY Jackie drops to the gank. An odd one now with red and blue, and Reginald with the blue.
Yeah, and really unfortunate Crumbs here picking up the red buff. That's quite essentially TSM that last game, and now for this game have been keeping the buffs, but Pobelter and Dyrus with those ignites and pots have survived both each other, and Odd One trying to come in here for cleanup crew, pinging that top bush, but Pobelter is going to hide under that tower. Odd One doesn't have anybody to find with that flag. But yeah,
that was dangerous.
Oh yeah,
that fight was dangerous.
Yes, as I was saying earlier, TSM's doing something very, very well, and that is controlling the buffs. Right now, Crumb's not really ganking anyone. Red buff has worn off, but on TSM, the fact that they can carry all the buffs, and Odd One just kind of commanding the other jungle with that is absolutely crippling.
Look at Reginald. The little Yordle himself just chases off the big bad werewolf. And you can see this happening, again, Reginald just trying to play this zone game. He is sitting at 34 creeps, and check out Galio. 12. You heard me. 12. Reginald it really knows how to play this mid. It's really awesome to see. Now you see Odd One throws out the smite, picks up the blue, but Crumbs with the revenge smite on a small rate. That's kind of a little bit weird. But now Reginald, you had to have known Crumbs was here, and he does. He's going to land the entire kit on top of him, and Crumbs not really going to be able to do too much in retaliation. He's just going to go on his merry way.
And yep, trying to poke out, see if Crumbs is going to wait on grabbing those wraiths there, but Reginald going to steal the large blue wraith, which is, I think, a more common tactic. You just kind of cripple both the enemy jungler and the mid laner if they decide to kind of waltz around, grab the wraiths, and come back to lane in between waves. But Pobelter, Dyrus still kind of figuring it out here. Reginald, with that blue buff that he received earlier, is quite happy with where he is.
I just watched Pobelter do a flying ninja kick into a lightning bolt from Dyrus. That was pretty awesome to see. But yeah, Dyrus and the true damage, like his reckless swing, it is level 3 and 220 true damage for 88 health. So he's pretty happy about that. It is keeping Pobelter on his toes, but no real clear advantage on that top lane. Pobelter running 33 and Dyrus running 38, so it's a little bit more in favor of the Viking. And the Viking does have that Vampiric Scepter, so that was his first item pickup, and that's really going to go a long way to make sure he can just stay up here infinitely.
We do see Odd One coming up right now towards that top lane, and don't think Pobelter's going to fall for that. He's just kind of waiting in the wings there, not really willing to come too close. Chalice of Harmony here on Nijaki, who's actually running teleport, just burned it to come back to lane.
Dyrus throwing it out, a ton of hate onto Pobelter. Odd One did eventually move from that, but it is a warded lane. He knew he couldn't go through the river, and it's kind of very hard to gank from that angle when your river is warded. So nothing's going to be happening except just a lot of damage landing onto Pobelter. That true damage just goes right through that shield.
You see Odd One and Nijaki back in mid lane. We do see Kennen has picked up the revolver, will be likely building into a Woda as his first item right now. Pobelter continuously trying to trade blows at Dyrus, but Olaf doing an excellent job wearing down the shield that Lee Sin has, and Pobelter not able to emerge from any engages ahead.
Now, Nijaki did go back, got himself a Chalice, so it's pretty much exactly what Reginald did the game before. And Reginald, again, I mean, he's just really commanding this mid. He's almost doubling his opponent in CS. He has a kill, and as you did say, he is probably going to be going for that Woda first. And that's not a terrible idea. What he could also do is just leave it as a Hextech and go straight into his Zonias. I mean, he has the sustained now, and I don't think that anyone else is going to get a Woda. So there's no double Woda trickery that's going to be going down. He could just very well go for his Zonias.
Nijaki also finally picking up his own blue buff. That is hopefully going to be one of many more buffs for Curse, having difficulty, a huge amount of difficulty keeping track of their own jungle.
Reginald doing a little bit of a dance, tried to get that Wraith. Don't actually think he got it, as Pobelter is now forced to head on back to town. Needs a few more health potions, but he has some Doran's Blades now, so his own lifesteal will help even out that scenario. Crumbs is now 6 on Mundo, has the Ninja Tabby, so he could come in for some ganking, and he is running the exact same as Odd One last round, Smite Exhaust. So and an extra Exhaust in a gank can go a long, long way.
Back to bottom lane, Cop here. 84 CS to Urgot 72, holding up just a little farther, then Urgot does pick up the BF sword, and meantime Chaos with Brutalizer. But meantime, middle lane, Reginald trying to engage on a Night Jackie. Crumbs is chasing. Reginald does burn Flash, will get out of there, but in top lane in the same way, Pobelter getting engaged on, does get exhausted, does burn Flash and Ignite, but excellent dashing away here from both Dyrus and the Odd One.
If that axe had landed, Dyrus might have committed to the kill, but it didn't. So Pobelter gets out of there with a get out of jail free card. Now the Clairvoyance goes down, does see that Curse takes the race, so they do know he's still here. And Reginald's just really keeping his positioning really good so that that kind of thing doesn't happen, because he doesn't have a flash to burn anymore.
And Odd One kind of sitting on that ward there is seen very well. Oh, there's the ultimate by Reginald, and Ignite going down on a Night Jackie. And there's a flag from Odd One, but I wasn't sure what exactly he was doing. Wasn't really able to wear down Night Jackie quite as far as he had hoped, since he is naturally very tanky.
Yeah, that's exactly what your viewer was saying, exactly what we were saying. It's very hard to, with that scaling armors, to really burst down a Galio. It just doesn't work. Like, I've seen Galio's late game 300 to 400 armor fully popped. Now, is Dyrus going to be able to finish off this Dragon? We do not have a smite up for another 9 seconds. It won't matter as Crumbs gets initiated upon by Odd One. There's the heal from X Special, making sure that nobody goes down, and the ultimate right into Elements. Oh, what were you face checking that for, Elements, as he goes down. Now, they did successfully stop the Dragon, but it doesn't matter. 2 kills under their belt, putting them up at 3-0. They're easily just going to take this, and the harass from Jackie is like, no, it was just too ill-timed, and they didn't care. They just gladly accepted the damage and went on home with an extra Dragon.
Yeah, that is, I guess, first Dragon of the game going to TSM, but Pobelter, in the meantime, has shoved top lane, will take the first tower of the game. And there we go, Wriggles on both Jarvan and Olaf right now. Cop backing up.
Yeah, Olaf with the sustain for the Wriggles. I mean, every time he wants to throw out that Reckless Swing, it's 112 health. So he needs to get that health back, and it's essentially free. And as we did say, it just goes right through the shield that Pobelter throws up on himself. So Dyrus, you know, god of a top lane, he knows exactly what to do. He's up 74 to 75 for the CS. So other than missing that turret, it's pretty much the same. It's still just a lot of farming, and the only reason we lost the turret is he was taking a Dragon. So turret for a Dragon, it's the same. It's more or less the same gold. So I don't think he's too worried.
Back to a typical laning phase. Not a whole lot to say after that skirmish there. Pobelter trying to run up back to top lane.
Now I'm just doing a little bit of a looky around. Curse, you know, with that BF sword, he has the Vampiric, but I can't imagine that he wants to go for a Bloodthirster first. He strikes me more of an IE first, especially with Soraka there. I mean, what do you need that extra lifesteal for? So that's just kind of how I feel about that Graves. I mean, he does not need any extra lifesteal because he can just clear these waves no problem. I mean, he just destroyed all those creeps, and he's still pulling ahead in those minions. He's about 15 minions up compared to Urgot, and as you can see here from Urgot, he is kind of going what I predicted, the Brutalizer, now Glacial, so if he finishes that into a Frozen Heart, he's ready to swap himself into the enemy team for that initiation aspect.
And they are trying to find a lane gank right now on Cop and Elements. That lane is, or was warded. X Special clearing that out of the pink, and in retaliation, Cop and Elements, I think they've got a feeling that Jarvan was going to come in there, but Odd One's going to take the blue buff right now.
We have a Ruby Crystal on top of Dr. Mundo. It's his latest item, so kind of curious if he's going to go for the Spirit Visage or if he's just going to go for a Shirelius first. Spirit Visage, I think, makes a bit more sense because it synergizes very well with the health gains from his ultimate. And you can see that they're really controlling their buffs a lot better in game number 2. Like, game number 1, I think we said 2 or 3 buffs they kept, and the rest TSM was able to steal. So they've been really keeping up that. But I also feel that TSM just feels a bit more passive. Like, we don't even have a lot of wards out, so it's not like we're actively warding and denying the jungle invades. It's more TSM just isn't really doing it.
Yeah, and the wards we do see right now, we've got One here by Curse, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on TSM, mainly protecting their side lanes. Their middle lane, I think Reginald's got full control of that, so no worries at all.
So he's one level ahead right now over that Galio and what, 27 creeps. Now we do got Pobelter throwing up a little bit of aggression as Odd One jumps on top of Crumbs. There's the exhaust. Crumbs could not go anywhere out of that ultimate. Now Olaf with the ghost, but he does get ignited, won't matter. An axe to the back, and he does fall. Odd One and Dyrus now going to be trying to take on Lee Sin, and I'd say they're doing a pretty good job of it because that one more axe after that flash didn't quite avoid it. He's going to pick up the axe one more time. Come on, just pick it up one more time, buddy. It won't matter. The lightning bolt to the face, and he's just going to tank this, walk away. He has 166 armor as that bottom lane also gets shredded. Curse losing X special, or not X special, sorry, elements. I don't know why I want to say X special died. That's not a thing or anything.
Janna's blue. Curse is on blue team. We'll make that your excuse for now. Middle lane, Nijaki and Reginald trading blows. Graves. Oh, Graves. Cop decided to be running the Bloodthirster as his first item there.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah,
I just feel like an IE would have been a better choice. He's up against a tanky AD and a Janna. I don't... Okay, well, he's the pro. He knows better than I.
The Bloodthirster will provide him, I guess, a massive amount of sustainability once he gets that fully farmed, and that's a question of if he can get fully farmed. Urgot pulling ahead right now, 9 CS, and hasn't really been able to sit there and build the rest of his items. I think Bloodthirster, he is effectively down an item from Urgot. We can just look at a gold count right now. Yeah, 4,700 to 5,500. That is a single item, or at least half a luxury item. Oh, and Crumbs face checking into the bush with Dyrus. We'll be running out of there. Odd One with an Oracle. We'll be clearing out wards. And things going down by everybody.
That's a little bit more of what I'm used to. You know, I think the Curse has kind of been lulled into, well, they're not in our jungle, so we just face checked. And yeah, Crumbs took a lot of heat for it, but ultimately he got out unscathed. As we see Elements again getting landed upon with his ultimate. Dyrus not exactly in the prime position to help out, but he's going to throw that axe. It's not going to work after that ultimate, or after that flash, but Chaos with his own flash is going to be enough, and he can just tank this tower, no problem. Janna shield, he has the armor. Now if Galio jumps in with an ult, it could do some pretty massive damage at this point. Here comes Pobelter as well from the side, but we do throw out that sight limiter. We're going to be jumping in with Jarvan, and that's going to be a dead Graves, a dead Galio, and a dead Pobelter. Look at that, the entire TSM team coming together to just destroy Curse in that fight.
Yeah, and excellently played. X Special doing a very well-timed Monsoon right before Nijaki came into the ultimate. I mean, you didn't even see Galio sit down in X Special pulling out Monsoon. Janna countering that Galio ult, and that's essentially an ace, even though Crumbs is working on that top tower. Reginald's coming in here to defend that. There's the ultimate, and Crumbs taking a lot of damage here. Ignite is down, is on the run from Kennen.
Knight's down because it's on top of Crumbs. Yeah, Crumbs, you can't do that, dude. No. Yeah. There you go. Run from the little Yordle as Dyrus takes out that mid tower. Right now, again, this is TSM's game. They're up 10-0. Reginald's not giving up on this, and I mean, why should he? Like, there's no kind of counter aggression that he's worried about, but unfortunately Mundo is just too dodgy. Those skill shots a little too easy to predict, and he's going to get out. But I'm a little curious. Reginald went with an Abyssal first item. That's exactly what he went last time, too.
And Abyssal is his first... Well, he does have the sustain, as you said earlier, from the Hextech Revolver with the Abyssal Scepter. If he does manage to get in there with a good AoE, will wear down, of course, the magic resist of everybody else on the opponent team that is nearby. But I guess having that effectively just makes him stronger. We do see the natural magic resist on Galio, as well as that Negatron Cloak right now. So I think it's a fair selection. Could have decided to go Zhonya's, but he is 1-0-1. Not really too worried about dying, in my opinion.
It's kind of funny because you said Curse, you know, he gets that Bloodthirster. Can he fill it up? I was like, well, he barely leaves lane. He hasn't died. He should be able to clean that up because he had that creep lead, but it's clearly not his lead anymore. Like, he's up by 3. He used to be up by 15 to 20 creeps over Urgot. Now he's up by 3, and then he dies. I was like, wow.
And,
I guess I'm glad I didn't say that.
And of course, earlier TSM picked up their second dragon of the game. It is just shy of the 20-minute mark, and TSM with a commanding lead over Curse.
8,000 gold again at the 20-minute mark. It's pretty much exactly the same as last game. We're up 8,000. We have a huge lead for TSM. Curse just not really seeming to work together as they need to be.
Yeah, and scaring the rest of Curse away from their jungle. I believe can't see. Yeah, I think Oddwin may have stolen that blue buff. I can't tell if that was... Yeah, I think that was a stolen blue buff. Very well done there by TSM. But yeah, bottom lane, Cop and Elements holding on to this lane, but Chaos very tanky right now and dishing out a lot of damage in the meantime.
NY Jackie does have a blue buff that's less than a quarter used, and Jarvan's is over halfway used.
Don't think the particle showed up then. Was
no worries.
Right.
The blue buffs are taken.
They're
that's
taken.
Cool.
That is all that matters right now.
Now this is something you'll see a lot on Olaf players, especially if they're rocking Ghost, because they can just go Ghost Ragnarok, and that's the Frozen Mallet, which Dyrus pretty much has the money for. He has 1,200 gold in the bank, so he can go back and pick this up at any time, but there's no counter going on. You see a lot of the Curse members in the bottom, which this bottom lane you can see is really kind of under fire. Chaos and X Special really just trying to defend it. So Dyrus is like, alright, well, I'll push. Cool. Nobody up here can take me. And now I got my two homies here, Reginald, Dyrus. We're going to go hit a beer bong and take down this tower, and then we're going to go back and save Baylife. And that's what they do. They're TSM.
Looks like they are going to continue pushing in. Pabelter, the only one here to defend this. Crumbs in that middle lane, but yeah, they're getting to work on this inhibitor turret very, very quickly. Not sure what else Pabelter can do. Nijaki has shown up, though, as has Crumbs. They are running with Pabelter, trying to chase down. There's a flash, trying to chase down anybody they can, but it's not really working. Dyrus there. There's the initiation. Pabelter being melted. There's the Kennen and Galio ultimate. And Dyrus takes down Nijaki. Jarvan ultimate, keeping Crumbs from running. And Crumbs will go down as well. That is a triple kill by Dyrus. And Curse surrenders for game number 2.
13-0. Now, when you see that the bottom line is not leaving to go defend, and they got 3 people up there, it's at least a 3-on-3. And when you're up 10-0, I mean, it's not. You need more than 3-on-3. You need to have your entire team in order to get those kills. Curse didn't. They didn't form up. They didn't become 5, and they lost that fight pretty handily, and they lost the game without taking a single kill off of Team Solo Mid.
Yep, and I guess that will be that's yeah, I think that's it for right now. I don't think there are any other matches in the ggClassic happening until 6 p.m. EDT. Now that it's daylight savings.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh yeah, daylight savings. An hour? What? Yeah, so Curse versus TSM. TSM winning 2-0 over the fellow pro team. And I guess we will wait for the next match at 6 p.m. If you want to check that out, go over to... there's a Reddit post here somewhere. Yep. There we go. Next match will be 6 p.m. EDT of LGN versus 4-0. This is a postponed game number 3. Last week, I think, what was it? I think that was you, Forecourt. You were casting the LGN versus 4-0. LGN, formerly known as Reflex, went through 2 games, did have to postpone game number 3, so the
definitely wasn't
conclusion.
me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Nope.
Well, a nail-biting conclusion then of LGN versus 4-0, also known as LGN, also known as Reflex, at 6 p.m. And I guess that's it for this stream, or at least for these games. We will keep the stream up and see you at 6 p.m.
It was a pleasure, Dirge.
Yeah, it was a huge pleasure. And again, my name is Silver Dirge, and this is the one and only Forecourt Jester.
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter, guys. We're Silver Dirge and Four Core Jester, and I think the VODs will be up on the ggC YouTube, I believe.
ggC YouTube, they will also be recorded, or if they are not already, recorded to the owned TV channel, so go ahead and check that out. And of course, you can also watch the games from last week, the week before, and yesterday if you want to go and take a look at how all the other teams are faring so far in this tournament, and we'll be right back.